Ah, I I give up. I give up. I got nothing. I got nothing left. I got nothing left for this team. Um, I got nothing left to say about them. I have no more. I have no more nothing for this season. I am convinced at this point. I am. I am. I am convinced that what we are experiencing this year is karmic retribution for how much fun last year was, and the fact that we had such a good time last year, and like every game, really every game, there were like positives, and like it was just a blast. Um, this is karma. This is karma saying no, no, you guys are Knicks fans. You can't you can't have nice things, or if you have nice things, we're gonna make you repay it back tenfold. Um, that's the only thought that I have after this game. Um, I have no objective, like sensible, like analysis of this game. Like you blow a 28-point lead at home to a team that has, you know, they have NBA players, but and then the only other thing I'll say is everything's up for grabs. Anybody, there's be a lot of fire Tibs stuff in the chat tonight. At this point, what leg? I think I mentioned something along these lines. Probably the last game, which was the worst loss of the season up until that point, or the game before that, which was the worst game of the season up until that point, or maybe the Denver game, which was the worst loss of the season up until that point, depending on how you view worst losses of the season. Like when your team has 4 out of 5 games that you can credibly say are the worst loss of the season, something is broken, something is awry, and there's no such thing as being like, well, this person is clearly not the reason, or this person clearly is the reason. Like everything's up for grabs. Um, I don't know where the problem lies. I know there will be people who vociferously argue that it lies in a particular place, and that's fine. At this point, you know, what can you do? Yeah, I just did. I'm speechless after this one. I'm speechless after this one. This team has broken me, and this team has broke any true fan who is still around and still investing their time and energy and thought and anything into this team. Absolutely broken. Absolutely broken. All right, on that note, let's get to the super chat. Oh God. Danny Gardner starts us off. Hi, Danny. Just gotta laugh at this point. I've been doing a lot of laughing the last several minutes, especially when the Cam 3 let in. I let out a hearty laugh at that point. Thanks for helping us all get through another tough season. You guys at KFS are real ones. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a disease, right? You have that team that it's in your blood, and you can't give them up, even if you try. Obviously, I could never give this team up even if I tried, and I don't want to try. I still believe things will be okay long term. It's just repeated punches to the. It's not even that it's punches to the gut. It's I'm gonna give you a sucker punch to the gut, or an uppercut or something to the gut, or like a jab to the gut, whatever punch goes to the gut. and then I'm going to help you out. And then in your moment of weakness, I'm going to punch you in the exact same area worse. And then I'm going to do it again and again and again. And that's this Knicks season. Abe. What's going on, Abe? Okay, this is it. I want Tibs' head on a platter tonight. John, I know, but he can't be excused any longer for his rotations. I mean, again, you want to key in on the rotations. We were talking about it on the playback. We all thought Quickly should have been in earlier. We thought Quickly probably shouldn't have even left the game. At the very least, he should have been in earlier. For Burks, who was bad and has been bad for a while. You want to key in on that? That's fine. You want to key in on the fact that Mitch probably should have never left the game, even with the fifth foul, because they could have probably put the game away. That's fine too. To me, though, it's like, people will talk about that, and that's fine. To me, it's just like, you're head coach of an NBA team. And this is what I always go back to. Like, I'm not comfortable analyzing the specific things to the point of like, this is why this person should be fired. But if this keeps happening, if you have an NBA team and you keep blowing 20-point leads and you can't figure out a way not to blow 20-point leads against substandard NBA competition, well, that's a sign that there are definitely problems. And no one is without blame. I'll be very curious to see what happens moving forward. Certainly can't say that the coach is doing a good job. Is he the one to blame? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. D Black, this team can no longer hurt me. I am free. Good for you. I wish I was. Guy Huber, then. For all the talk of not tanking with youth, it's the vets that have us in tanking position. Very, very true. Love the irony. Tibs lacks the third quarter adjustment. Tibs' lack of third quarter adjustments is special. Yeah, I mean, the third quarter of the season has been bad anytime. So I put the stat in today's newsletter. The Kemba Walker led starting unit with RJ Barrett in it is like minus 28 points per 100 possessions in the third quarter. The Alec Burks led starting five with RJ Barrett in it is I think plus 11 points per 100 possessions in the third quarter. The Kemba thing like starts well sometimes. It started well tonight, obviously. It never ends well. And obviously that's why you went away from Kemba tonight. I've been saying it for weeks. I don't need to see any more minutes of Kemba Walker on this team. I'm done. We're all done with that. Robert McGinley, echoing Danny, just saying thanks to you guys for enduring this with us. Thanks for being here. Thanks for enduring it with us. We wouldn't want to do this alone. It would be much less fun. Thank you, KFS, for all your hard work. We all deserve better. Yeah, I think we all deserve better. And maybe we'll get better. Maybe we'll get better in the draft this year. There were a few. Andrew and Jeremy, God bless them, at one point were like, you know what, I'd be okay with the loss tonight because draft position and like Quickly played well and that all that. And I was like, no, I don't want to lose tonight. I want nothing to do with a loss tonight. I just want to go into the break with a win. I just wanted them to win the fucking game. I just wanted them to win the game. And they couldn't do that despite having a 28-point lead. Just astounding to stay out loud. But you never know. Maybe this is all part of how we get that next guy who's going to really lead this team somewhere good. We'll see. Jaden Sporer. What did we do to deserve this? I don't know. I mean, I always like to think that New Yorkers are better than everybody because we have it better than everybody. And like we figured out the secret. Like we figured out it's better to be a New Yorker than it is to be anything else. Because like we're the most sophisticated and like best foods in New York and like all like best culture. Like we have all of that as New Yorkers. So we can't have good easy sports, right? That would be too much. That's my only thought. I don't know. It's a good question. Manny Campos. You know when they say no lead is safe, it's usually a good thing. This team is pathetic. Fire Tibs, trade the vets, play the kids. Hashtag 57 losses. Yeah. Of course. I hate everything about tonight. I hate everything about tonight. That the fucking Nets and Kevin Durant is dunking on us because they had Net fans in the Garden tonight. Like, if there was ever going to be, that's the other part. Like, there's going to be a lot of Fire Tips in the chat tonight. You know who else might be on the Fire Tips bandwagon after tonight? James Dolan. Would not put it past him at all. After a game like this, as far as trading the vets, you got to find someone who wants them. Dylan Crowley. Help me here, John. Tibbs saying you got to earn your minutes. Quick has the best game he's had in weeks and gets pulled for Burks. Is Tibbs gaslighting us? I think I have no response to that. I have no response to that whatsoever. Again, I've defended Tibbs all year. I've defended that he has a rationale for his decision-making process. I've defended the fact that his stubbornness was a big asset to the team last year. But to go to Burks there when Burks has been playing like he has been is a reliance on your veteran, because that is what you do. You rely on your veterans. And then he obviously second-guessed himself later because he put Quickly back in and Quickly had a shot to tie it that he missed. That to me doesn't say anything about whether or not it was a correct decision to put Quickly back in the game earlier. I think it was the correct decision to put Quickly back in the game earlier. And he didn't do it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't have anything for you. Kevin Danishevsky, what's going on, Kevin? Always a pleasure spending the whole game with you and the KFS team for playback and halftime. I'll just say that I still believe in the long term here. Yeah, I think there's reason to believe in the long term here. I think there's still. I'll say this. Look, there's going to be a fall guy for this, and the writing on the wall is certainly. That's going to be the head coach. Is that a good decision? I don't know. But there's talent here. They're going to have a good draft pick, but the problem now is that all the good vibes from last season, all of the good juju, all of the stuff around the league with people like, again, stars maybe looking at the Knicks as the place they want to go to. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of that might be gone. Can they recover? Yeah, they can recover. You could always recover. It's the NBA. It's all cyclical. Will they recover? And can we reconcile how far they've fallen and how much they've lost in that area? I don't know. Tyler Michaels, what's going on, Tyler? I have nothing to really say. Just wanted to contribute a few bucks to KFS. Thank you. And hope you guys have a nice vacation. Yeah. The funny thing is, if had they won this game, I would have actually had like a pretty pleasant. I mean, I'll still have it. I hope I'll have a nice vacation, and I hope I get over this one. This one stings, though. Like I said the 2 nights ago with the Thunder game, I was like, yeah, this team broke me. This isn't even like this. Didn't even really. I didn't expect them to win tonight. Tonight hurts. Tonight sucks. And it's gonna suck for a little while. And but yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it and I'll go from there. Oh, here we go. Bondi just tweeted out. James Dolan left his seat after Cam Thomas buried his 30-footer to stick the knife in the Knicks. Can't be happy. Knicks blew a 28-point lead and broke new ground for rock bottom tonight. Yes, they did. Anyway, thanks, Tyler. Alex, Thibodeau going down the road of Joe Judge. You can book it. He will not be here next season. Perhaps he retires, a la Dave Gettleman. That would not shock me. That would not shock me. If that's how he went out with a quote unquote retirement. Look, I'm not going to put anything past anybody as far as what's going to happen next season. I wouldn't put anything past anybody as far as what's going to happen for like in the next 10 days or 9 days. It's pretty clear that the organization knows it needs to go in. I think obviously it's clear that the organization, like, hey, you want some good news for tonight? Here's some good news for tonight. If there was any thought to, we'll tough it out, we'll get through this, we'll be okay, I'm pretty sure this week ended all of that. So now, like, there is just absolutely no excuse for the front office to turn over a new leaf and say, okay, we're going to see what happens when we play these kids. And if we win, great. And if we lose, it's Jaden Ivey season, or fucking, Jabari Smith, or Chet Holmgren, or, Johnny Davis, or AJ Griffin, or any of these guys that are going to be paid. There's some interesting prospects. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Shaden, something or other, the kid who, might reclassified. Like, there's a very solid top 4. You could extend it maybe to a top 5. You could extend it maybe to a top 6. There's another guy or two, like, whatever. That's what this season becomes now. It's been this way for a while, but it officially becomes that. It's play the kids season. It's all that. And if the front office decides that, and Tom Thibodeau's like, no, I want to keep playing for wins, then that's a problem, and maybe there needs to be a change. And I have been steadfast for as much as I have defended and will, to a certain extent, continue to defend Tom Thibodeau. He needs to be on the same page as the rest of the organization. And if he's not on board with the youth movement at this point, it's a problem. Stevens Guillaume, what can you even say? Third blown 20-point lead, no in-game adjustments. The lows keep getting lower. I mean, I thought they kind of resuscitated it when they got it back from, I think it was a 9-point game in the third quarter, and then they got it back up to 18. And then it looked like things were going to be okay. And then a couple shots, Mitch got another foul, Mitch went out. Again, in-game adjustments can only go so far when your team goes, where do they go from 3 in the second half? They shot 3 of 20 from deep in the second half, I think. 3 of 18, 3 of 19, something like that. They made 3 3-point field goals in the second half. Or excuse me, Fournier made a 3-point field goal with like no time left. So, sorry, they were 4 of something. That's, that speaks more to me than whether or not, like, there's adjustments being made. You got to hit shots. It's basketball. Kevin Danishevsky, my only criticism of Tibbs is putting IQ in late and not involving Grimes more down the stretch. Not really his fault, but he can't play for them. Yeah, I mean, look, again, tonight's not the night to defend Tom Thibodeau. And I'll be the first person to admit that. You just can't lose this game. You can't lose this game. It's inexcusable. So I'm scrolling up to the top comment here. Andrew, let me know what I've missed. Shamik Gayen, thoughts on if Tibbs is losing the locker room? You said all year he has them playing hard, but hard to say that with all these blown leads. See, I it's funny. I actually look at it the other way. To me, if you have a team that comes out and plays well enough and plays hard enough to go up by 20, which the Knicks, again, we're up by 28 tonight. Like, we said it in the first half, or I said it at least at halftime. I said if I didn't know any better, I would say that this was a team that came out tonight that they were told, you're playing for your coach's job, or they were told, but it was basically made clear to them you're playing for your coach's job. To me, that's how they came out and played tonight. Like, they were playing to save their coach's job. So they came out and they played hard, but to me, it's about a complete and total lack of mental toughness. Completely total lack of mental toughness. This team has no mental toughness whatsoever, and they clam up in tight games, and it's you know that reflects some issues that were here earlier this year. It reflects a lot of things. I don't think they're not playing hard for him anymore. They're not coming out of the locker room dead. I mean, they've actually come out of the gate and played hard in all of these recent games, with the exception of the Denver game, which was the second night of a back-to-back. But, yeah, but that's my own 2 cents. You can feel free to disagree. So Hush Zoo has a 2-part comment. Great loss for the tank, indeed. Chess move from Tibs. He wants early retirement. AB 26 minutes puts him over IQ in crunch time. Again, I completely disagreed with the Burks insertion at the time. Didn't think Quickly should have left the game. If Quickly did leave the game, I thought he should have been back in much sooner. Second part of Hush Zoo's comment: keep playing them vets. All future pieces for the Knicks. George Karl is waiting for you with open arms. That's funny. Yeah, I would listen to a podcast with George Karl and Tom Thibodeau. That'd be a fun podcast. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's certainly heading in that direction. I would just, as always, be careful what you wish for. So Tom Thibodeau said, I have no idea. This is an out of context quote from Fred Katz. Tom Thibodeau said, everything is on the table now. Robert Cross. My concern about firing Tibbs is not this year, but next. I felt we were building something here. Now the culture is at risk, and that is a problem. Again, I think, and I don't want to rehash the discussion that Jeremy and I had during the first half of the playback, but like, if you as a front office believe that there is something fundamentally wrong with your head coach that has either changed since you hired him, because like, here's the thing that's different from Tibbs and a lot of head coaches who get their first job, or like maybe it's their second job, but the first job didn't go well. Like, you know exactly what Tom Thibodeau is. There is absolutely no guesswork with what Tom Thibodeau is. You know what Tom Thibodeau is. You know how he operates. You know what he wants to do. You know how he goes, the whole thing. If something has fundamentally changed, and either he is refusing to relent to a change of direction that the front office wants, or if, when you hired him, he was like, I understand these were issues in the past, I'm going to make these changes, and he's not making these changes, whatever. Unless that's the case, like, this is the way, like, this is who Tom Thibodeau is. So, I don't know, have you decided that, like, the guy you hired is not the guy you want anymore? Perhaps. I guess that's possible. I don't love that as far as, like, with what you're talking about, Robert, like, the culture and, like, building and, like, all the good vibes and all that stuff. Like, that's not a good look for an organization. If you hire a guy and then he won Coach of the Year and then you fire him the next year, obviously it's, that's not a good look either. Especially with injuries and this and the other thing. I mean, it's a point where the organization's culture is going to be tested. I have no idea which direction they're going to go. Yeah, I have no idea which direction they're going to go. I wish I had more to give you. Abe, I left with 2 minutes left. F this team. Zero issue there with that comment. Drew P. This is us without RJ, our most important player. I think the fact that they do not have RJ Barrett, they have not had RJ Barrett because, again, of a decision Tom Thibodeau made that he should have never made. Hold his feet to the fire for that. It was the wrong decision. It was a stupid decision. And he's paying for it now. Who knows? He might pay for it with his job. We don't know. Yeah. They win all these games without they win all these games with RJ. Right? They win this game, they win the OKC game, they win the Portland game. It's not complicated. And imagine, and just like I know we're like all past it, right? Imagine if they won these last 3 games instead of lost these. Oh, and they won the fucking Golden State game. Excuse me. Imagine if they won these 3 instead of lost 3. They'd be sitting here right now with a record of 28-31. Right? They'd be sitting here right now with a record of 28-31, which would put them what? I don't even know why I'm wasting time talking about this. 28-31, which would put them half a game behind the Hawks for 10th place. Like, would that be for the better? Would that actually be for the worse? Whatever it is, they didn't have RJ. They lost the games. Tibs has no one to blame but himself for that. Sadly. Parrish Duggar. John, Tibs never makes a difference. Never. You could argue Tibs is not making a positive difference this year, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like Tom Thibodeau never makes a difference. Tibbs said after the game, you have to play tough with a lead, and we didn't do that. I would tend to agree. Kevin Danishevsky. Sure as God made green apples, someday the New York Knicks will win a championship. I like that. That was good, Kevin. Hashtag fandom is a disease. Hashtag I'll take less than 108 years. Hashtag Harry Carey. That's a good tweet, Kev. I like that. Luffy. I'm numb at this point. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised once the league started slipping away. I wasn't surprised either. We suck without Rose and RJ. This is probably for the best anyway, since we'll have a chance at a higher pick. Yeah. Yeah. Luffy, again, with a little bit more. Brooklyn chance and MSG made me want to throw up. I can't stand that stuff. I can't stand it. I absolutely can't stand it. It drives me nuts. More than anything. More than anything in the world. But, give them credit. Give their fans credit. They showed up. They chanted. Tip your cap. Alex. I never want to see Alec Burks play a single minute for this team again. He actually left Seth Curry open for a 3 in the fourth quarter. The worst. Yeah, Burks was terrible. He was awful. Should have not been in the game. Don't know why he was subbed back in. It was the wrong decision. It was a bad decision. And again, you're judged on your performance. I defend Tibbs against a lot of stuff. You cannot escape decisions that go poorly. If you make a decision and the decision goes poorly, you have to own that. And if it happens once, if it happens twice, if it happens 3 times, you'd be like, all right, well, you live with it. It gets to a certain point where you're like, this is not working anymore. And he has to own that fact. And what that means is it means Tom Thibodeau has not had a great year. And maybe he hasn't even had a good year. One might say he's had a bad year. Does that mean he should lose his job? That's not for me to say. I don't think so, but others would disagree. Hush Zoo says, new Nick killer Cam Thomas has been born too. Hashtag 53 losses. I hate that Cam Thomas did this to us tonight too. Q left blank. Just glad Breen didn't give the Nets a bang. Yeah. Hashtag thank you KFS. We appreciate it. Thanks, man. James Lee. Rookie Cam Thomas struggled, but Nash believed in him until late. What would Tibbs do? He will sit the struggling rookie out for a whole game out. Admit it. No, I won't, because the Nets the Nets have nobody. Like the Nets, if you look at the Nets roster, and also Cam Thomas is one thing that nobody on the Knicks is, which is he can create his own shot. Which is great for a Nets team that is missing all of their shot creators. The Knicks don't have anybody that could create their own shot. If they had someone on the bench that could create their own shot, I'm sure that person would be in there, but unfortunately that person does not exist. As far as the rest of the Knicks players, or the rest of the Nets players, like look up and down their roster. Like it's rookies and rookies. And even so, by the way, Cam Thomas played 30 minutes, Patty Mills 38 minutes, Seth Curry 36 minutes, James Johnson 32 minutes. All that said, quickly should have played more. Steve Cordero, the Knicks really miss RJ's perimeter defense 100%, and the second half scoring in these close games. Still ride or die because I appreciate RJ's presence. I hope he's back soon. I mean, if he's not back in the first game after the All-Star break, that's concerning. It's very concerning. But yeah, I miss his presence as well. It's a good comment. Zach Gronfien says, I just want to apologize for you having to talk about this team. It's okay. It's a torturous death that I choose. It is torture, and you don't deserve it. Go drown your Staros in a gluten-free cutlet. I have actually a cutlet that's breaded, not yet fried, in the fridge, but it's for my daughter's lunch tomorrow, so I'm not going to eat that. Do I have anything in the fridge? I don't know. I've been so good. Oh yeah, I have some mango. I'm gonna cut up some mango and have my mango as I'm writing the newsletter tonight, so that'll be great. Parrish Duggar, Tibbs has to go, John. He just doesn't coach guys. I'll agree to disagree there. At least as far as that rationale. I think Tibbs coaches guys up a lot. Whether some of his tendencies are starting to become problematic is, it's a fair conversation at the very least. CT Pittman, what's going on, CT? When we had a 28-point lead, who really thought we were going to win? Definitely not me. Same script, same culprits. Yeah, they had the 28-point lead like so briefly, and it was built off of such hot shooting. And again, I always go back to the stat where the Knicks shoot above 37%, the Knicks shoot below 37%, win, lose. The Knicks shot 37.2% tonight. So this is going to be one of the ones that goes in they should have won it. But when you shoot like 53 or 54% from three in the first half and then shoot like 18% from three in the second half. So this next chat is from Matthew. What's going on, Matthew? Thomas was so controversial coming out of the draft. Cam Thomas, yes. Between shot selection, passing, etc. But he's a bucket. We clearly need perimeter defense at the point of attack. Enough that Deuce isn't NBA ready. They need to. I mean, again, there's no reason not to play Deuce. Or if there is a reason to play Deuce, I don't know it. And there was I said on the pod a few times, like, there was a part of me that wanted Cam Thomas, because like the dude, he is a bucket. Like, he doesn't pass, and I don't know if he's like ultimately good for a struggling team that's trying to build itself up. I'm not sure if he would have been the great pick for the Knicks. I like Quentin Grimes a lot more, myself, but he's good for the Nets, especially with the team that they have. Alex, can you provide any explanation of Randall's pathetic effort on the boards in the fourth quarter? He completely dogged it out there. Tibbs won't care, though. Well, I actually think Tibbs does care. And I think Tibbs' comment after the game that they weren't tough, like, you got to be tough with a lead, like, that's directed at everybody, Randall included. So when Randall finishes this game with 10 rebounds and, like, I don't know how many he had in the fourth quarter, but I didn't seem like a lot. It's a problem. It's a problem. As far as the accountability factor, Randall said some kind words about Tibbs after the last loss, like whatever Tibbs wants, like we're here for him, like we ride or die, or whatever the hell he said. I don't know. Maybe Tibbs hitched his wagon to the wrong horse. We'll see. This one is from Michael Miranda. What's going on, Michael? The blame goes around. Multiple early timeouts in the third quarter again, pulling quickly for Burks. No shifts in defense down the stretch. End of the day, the team is soft, and they've been soft since the Atlanta series. This team is soft. This team is very soft. I mean, the timeouts early in the third quarter, again, the game's getting away from you. Like, I I don't know. We'll see. As far as them being soft, that's fair. This team is very soft. This is from Dom Cappuccini. What's going on, Dom? How are you? Instead of talking about this terrible team, let's talk about how Blood in the Garden is a must-read for any Knicks fan born after 2002. It's a must-read for any Knicks fan. I'm 3 chapters in and talk about memory lane. I love you, IQ. Yeah, great book. Love the book. Love the author. If you haven't read Blood in the Garden, go read it. It's phenomenal. Chris Herring is gifted. I'll say that. Okay. Aussie Knicks fan, what's going on, Matt? 2 positives from tonight for us. I think IQ is back for sure. And also hope we have a real one with Grimes. Hashtag next Klay Thompson. I hope. That'd be great. Brian Lests. No point in actual analysis, so just here to say the Knicks are the shining, and everyone they touch ends up devolving into unrecognizable insanity. I am insane. I have gone insane a long time ago. I don't know which end is up or down. Again, broken man. Just broken. Guy Huber then. What's going on, Guy Huber? The Trey is balding chance or Bing Bong cursed. Either one. Rob DeLusma. JM, I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing too. We all got nothing. Just wanted to contribute to my Knicks peoples and say that we're stuck with what we got. Yeah, I mean, again, I think there's a way out of this. I don't know what it's going to look like. But, we'll see. Thank you, by the way, everybody in the chat. Somehow we have over 600 people in here tonight, which God bless you that you still care about this team. And everybody who's contributed in the super chat, seriously. Matt Smith, am I crazy or was Tibs refusing to call timeouts on the fourth quarter? I mean, he wanted to save him for late. Was it the right move? Apparently not. It was really strange to me. Anyways, would love to see some RJ Cam and Grimes minutes without Julius to see how they could work. That's a great idea. I would love that. I would love to see all kinds of minutes combinations on this team that don't involve certain veterans. And it's not because the veterans aren't the better players and don't, like, quote unquote deserve to play, but it's because the veterans, like, why? You've turned the corner. The season is over. See what you got in some of the kids. That's all there is to it. Good comment. Max Goddard. What's going on, Max? Long time no see. How are you? What's up, Macri? Just wanted to contribute and remind everyone that the sooner we hit rock bottom, the sooner things get better. I wish I knew what rock bottom was. I thought, 5 days ago was rock, or 4 days ago was rock bottom. I thought 2 days ago was rock bottom. Even before that, I thought the Denver game was rock bottom. I thought it's just how many times can you hit rock bottom? What even is rock bottom anymore? Is there such a thing as rock bottom, or can it always get worse? Or is that only if you're a Knicks fan that it can get worse? Maybe rock bottom exists elsewhere. I don't believe it exists here. I believe there's a soft bottom, which can get lower and lower and lower until you've reached the core of the earth and you're burning alive. Good times. Okay. Kevin Levitt. I really have no idea how or why I'm angry at this game, but I just am. I'm angry too. Don't want to point fingers except at the entire team. This is why, on one hand, I'm sympathetic to anyone who wants to fire anyone tonight because you can't do this kind of shit. But at the same time, if if you're a basketball team and you can't hold a 28-point lead, you know, you know, that's bad. Mensa Smith. Um, what's going on, Mensa? Been a while. Yes, it has been a while. Hope you're well. Post games are tough because it's how we relive painful moments. The good news is this game was good for the long term. I hope you're right. The Julius Value Rehab Project and the Tank won tonight. Yeah. Yeah, Julius has been scoring the ball well, 25 points in however many consecutive games, which is the best since Melo in 2013. So that's good. As for the Tank, I hope we could actually make real tanking progress. We're going to need some other teams to hold up their end of the bargain and maybe win some games. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. Did any teams that we needed to win games actually win games tonight? The Pacers won. You never know. That's a possibility. The Blazers won again. That's good news. And the Spurs won. It's a great night. Great night for the Tank. Spurs won, Blazers won, Pacers won. Okay, giddy up. Bad eyesight. What's going on, Bad? Shut Rose down for the year? Question mark. Quick McBride. The only guys I want running this team this year. Also, players have some pride. Can't always be fire Tibbs. I mean, obviously, I'm on board with that. Don't absolve Tibbs at all. Can't blow a 20. You blow a 28-point lead, it's on everybody. It's on everybody in the building. It's on the front office. It's on the coach. It's on the players. It's on the fucking equipment manager. It's on the towel boy or girl. It's on everybody. But like you gotta, that's the part of it that irks me, and I'm gonna try very hard not to let it irk me because, again, as is the case with every single game, you could point to a decision that was made by the head coach and say that was the wrong decision because the result justified that it was the wrong decision. And tonight, the result of what happened justified that putting in Alec Burks late instead of keeping Quickly in there or putting Quickly in there earlier, that was the wrong decision. We know that it was the wrong decision. They lost the game. Playing Quickly could not have been worse. So we could sit here and be like, that was the wrong decision. That's one thing, right? That's one thing. The 28-point lead did not evaporate and turn into a whatever it was point loss. It's a 5-point loss because of that one decision. The 28-point lead evaporated because the players did not do the job with which they are paid to do. And that is a harsh reality that, people are going to want to gloss over, which is fine. It's easier to gloss over that. But, there were players on the floor the whole time. It's not like he put in the 12th guy on his bench, So, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Kevin Danishevsky, I know I made this comment in the playback, but I still want Tibbs here if and only if he commits to making Tom Coughlin 2007 adjustments. He can. Yeah, I agree. There's adjustments that need to be made. We'll see. See if he does. Abdoulaye Diallo. What's going on, Abdoulaye? Start up the Tank, but Tibbs is on the hot seat. Yeah, he's on the hot seat. Seat's hot. Seat's warm. But the coals are ablaze, as it were. Okay, scrolling back up. Okay, Andrew, I may have missed something. I'm going to the first one that I have. Peak Motion PT. How can Tibbs still coach the Knicks moving forward? Cam was cooking us 6-7 straight plays with pick and roll, and yet Tibbs did not make adjustments. I think the ones that I don't know if it was 6-7 straight. Mitch was switched on to him a few times. Mitch, pretty good defender. Didn't stop it there. I mean, Cam's a shot maker. Cam's a better shot maker than anybody the Knicks have right now, or anybody the Knicks have on the healthy roster right now. That's a fact. That's the one thing that he does is make shots. Is there an adjustment? Like you want to go double Cam? Like I forget who was Burks doubling on that play where he got caught off with Seth Curry. Like was he doubling Cam? Like you either double or you play man to man, you switch. Cam Thomas is a really gifted offensive player. He can get downhill, he can spot up. Like the dude was put up numbers last year in college basketball that were literally unheard of. In terms of like how many other guys in the history of college basketball put up those numbers. The reason he was drafted where he was drafted was because all he cares about is shooting and he doesn't pass. And lo and behold, tonight he had 21 points on 21 shots and 2 assists. It was 9 of 21. It's like if the guy's going to make shots, the guy's going to make shots. It is what it is. Jeremy Chase. Macri, deep in your soul, you know that if we tank, we will somehow fall back in the lottery, draft another power forward who doesn't play, and then the 3 picks after ours hit big. Smoke if you got him. I don't know. I actually think that like the fact that they went into this year with the intention of trying to win games, and I thought they went about it in a responsible way, that maybe karma turns, and that they got lucky on draft night. As far as who they'll draft, like we have time to talk about that, but we'll see. I don't. I'll say this: if they draft another power forward, it's going to be because they think neither of the guys on this team right now are worth a damn. Matt Smith, what's going on, Matt? Note: Cam, I think he means Reddish, looks totally disinterested. Camps in the corner on most possessions and forces shots when he gets the ball. Very nervous to extend him. They're not extending him this offseason. I think there was some speculation about that. And then for anybody who missed, I went on with Ian Begley on Friday and for the trade deadline. And Ian said he would be very surprised if they extended Cam this offseason. And I'll Ian's the one guy who I'll always listen to. I agree he looks disinterested to a certain extent. I don't love what I'm seeing. The fact that they put him on the table at the deadline is worrisome. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Cam Thomas. I mean, I understand the play from the front office. I understand it was an asset play. I wonder, did they do enough homework on him? We'll see. David Crockett, my man. David, what's going on? It's always good to hear from you. Some years, man. Last year, the last 20 games were serendipity. It was best highlight of my life as a Knicks fan, arguably. Is up there, or at least for the last 20 years. This season, every dumb coach's decision, every front office gamble has been like the stretch when every Edwin Diaz slider left the park. It blows. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Taxi driver, what's going on, taxi driver? Thank you for the contribution. Appreciate it. The Lakers move up in the lottery and we fall would be the most Knicks thing ever. I don't think the Lakers are going to be in the lottery, but you never know. Juanon, what's going on, Juanon? Maybe we should try to sign Kyrie in the offseason. That would be my personal version of hell. But that's just me. Not to play basketball, but to light some sage sticks and ward off whatever 6-man Marlon Wayans type ghost that's haunting MSG. Yeah, that's a great comment. That's good. I like that. Yeah, I would hire Kyrie to light some sage. Joseph John. Thoughts on Tibs' react offense compared to teams who also don't have a traditional point guard? Denver, Clippers, Bulls. I truly believe we have the talent, just the wrong offense to make them succeed. Okay, so you just named 3 teams. The Bulls have 2 of the best perimeter shot creators in the league. Well, DeRozan's more of a, inside the arc shot creator, but like, you can do a lot of things with those guys. And Denver has the most gifted passing big man of all time. As for the Clippers, that's a very reasonable comp. And what the Clippers have been doing lately under Ty Lue, just playing really smart, playing really hard, But again, I don't know that Ty Lue's like, is that the play calling or is that just like they're like just playing hard? And like they're getting after it on defense. Like they have a ragtag bunch of guys out there. But Ty Lue's a great coach. Give Ty Lue all the credit in the world. Certainly did a better job coaching than Tibs this year. Robert Majay, oh goodness gracious, I'm butchering this. Franchek Tarka. I'm sorry, Robert. Let's just say Robert. I was pro Tibs for a long time. He's lost it, but I put a lot of the blame on Julius. Your main guy can't have such a weak psyche. You could argue that it's the biggest point of blame this year. Again, that's like all the criticism goes to the head coach for blowing the lead. Like, your best player has a little bit to do with a blown 28-point lead. He was in there for most of that time. I don't know. Julius started off 4 or 5 from deep, missed his last 3. It's a problem. But guy had 31 points, 22 shots, so it is what it is. From ML Nair, what's going on, ML? Van Gundy was right on point when he said the starters brought nothing into the third, and that Randall didn't get back on defense. Tibbs has to adjust the rotations late. We talked about the rotations late. Thought Quickly should have been in there. As far as the starters bringing nothing in the third, completely agree. So who's that on? Is that on the players or is that on the coach? I don't really know. Whatever it is, it's a problem. It's a big problem. So, yeah, agree there. Matthew Dimitrov. What's going on, Matthew? What's your take on our current tanking ceiling? There are at least 8-9 teams who are actively tanking, and worse than us on paper. Are we screwed? I do not think we are screwed because our schedule is so hard. The Knicks have absolutely some real, very solid tanking potential because they are not going to be favored, I think, in any of their again, just I'll go through it briefly. I know I've gone through it on the last few post games. It's worth doing it one more time. Here's their next bunch of games. Miami, Philly, Phoenix, Clippers, and these are all on the road. At Sacramento, at Dallas, at Memphis, at Brooklyn, probably with Ben Simmons. Home Portland, home Washington, home Utah, home Atlanta, at Charlotte, at Miami. And then it's the last 8 games of the season in which they'll be favored in some of those games. So you figure they'll be favored maybe home against Portland. You figured maybe they'll be favored home against Washington. Other than that, that means they're going to be underdogs in 14 of their next 16 games. You want to tell me maybe they're not an underdog at Sacramento? I'm pretty sure they're going to be an underdog at Sacramento. It's probably not going to be by a bunch of points, but they'll be an underdog at Sacramento. So they could lose, like, I don't know, 12 to 16, 13 to 16, 14 to, like, they could lose a bunch of these games. And as far as like the record situation in the league right now, so they are how many games separate? So 5.5 games. So excuse me, 3.5 games separate them and the Kings. So 3.5 games is nothing, especially since the Kings are trying to win, the Spurs win by default, the Pelicans are trying to win. Those are 3 teams that either are trying to win or going to win games. So that means they could very easily fall to 6th. As far as catching the Pacers, I don't know. Catching the Thunder, I don't know about that. They ain't catching any of the teams below that. But they could definitely fall. Like, they're tied with the Blazers right now, They could go below the Pelicans, the Spurs, and the Kings. Unless who knows? Maybe the kids start coming in and winning some games. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. This is from Michael Mirando. The showing for Mitch tonight is what continually gives me pause with a new contract. I've seen him get bullied from tough centers too often. Yeah, there's not a lot of Drummonds like out there left, but it's a fair comment. It's a fair comment. I still think you reinvest at a number where it's not a prohibitive number. That's all. So we got Taj Gibson at the podium tonight. I'm actually gonna put this on because I'm very curious what Taj has to say.
On the bench, I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? Like when I watch the game, I've been around a while. I'm on the bench, I'm watching. Sometimes in the game, sometimes the execution breaks down. Maybe some good playing defense. They may hit a tough shot. The lead kind of gets down. We kind of get boggled down a little bit, and you can see it. It's a noticeable thing until we kind of rectify it, come together as a team and learn from it, and figure out a way to bounce out of these circumstances. Even though, like I said before, everybody in this league is talented, man. It's really hard to win. Just like that, we had a 28-point lead, and they give a couple threes nowadays, and it can get ugly real fast. It can go from almost 28 to 15 real quick. So just having resilience to bounce back and coming together even more. That's when the group is supposed to come together. But it's tough. You give up those big leads. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a mental thing. It's just one. It's not X's and O's. It's like it's having the resiliency to overcome. And lately, we haven't been able to do that. Last year, we were able to do that, but it's growing pain.
It's mental. It is mental. I agree. It is mental. We're all mental. Okay. From Fro Duran of Takes. I don't know what that is. Staying up till 5:30 a.m. here in Greece for this clown fiesta. I'm sorry, man. Working in 2 hours, shake my head. Thanks for the free therapy, Macri. Cam Hero Ball on the 4th was tragic. Yeah, nobody's brought it up. Well, somebody brought it up about the Ron of Takes. There we go, the Ron of Takes. Sorry about that. Cam's he's been a disaster. Like you could see why he didn't get into the rotation right away. You know? And like all the people that were calling for like, why are you playing Cam more? It's like, you're seeing why, So Slacker Hero. And by the way, shout out to you staying up watching from Greece. Like that's awesome. Again, Knicks fandom is like, it is a disease, but we're proud to have the same disease. Slacker Hero. This game was a combo of everything that's gone wrong this season. The front office and Tibs are not on the same page, and players are disappointing. It's fair. These are the Knicks I remember from the last few years. Hashtag 54 losses. At this point, I wouldn't put anything past them. Abe, the one thing is Obi needs to hit those open threes. So Obi Toppin, every three he has shot this year has been a standstill, catch and shoot three. Easiest threes to hit in the league. He's made, I think, at this point, 20 of, I'm just looking real quick at what he made tonight. I'm assuming he was 0 of 1, 0 of 2, something like that. Obi Toppin was, excuse me, I misspoke, 0 of 3. So that means, by my count, he's 20 of 90 from 3 this year, which is like 22%, 22 point something percent. Like you can't, that's just bad. That's just the player is bad. The player is doing poorly. The player is not doing the thing that he is paid to do. Yeah, that's an issue. Rafi, which point guard would help from next year when draft, free agency, or trade, since we clearly need one who can organize the offense? I mean, I don't even know if it's about organizing the offense. Like, yes, they do need one to organize the offense. I think more importantly, they need a point guard who could do the shit that like every other team has a point guard that could do, which is like get downhill and like shoot off the dribble and create a shot. Like we don't have that guy. I play a little defense perhaps. I think there is no obvious answer. Brunson's good. Brunson's really good. I think Brunson will help. I wouldn't be shocked if they kick the tires on trying to trade for Malcolm Brogdon. I'd be very surprised if they went after Colin Sexton and thought Colin Sexton should be the starting point guard for this team. I don't love that. And then you got in the draft, you got Ty Washington. Ty Washington out of Kentucky. He's profiled as something like a top 10 pick. He's from what I understand, he's a bit of a strange point guard in that like doesn't get all the way to the rim, but he's good. Like he does all, like he's very effective. Like everything he does is very effective. He's just not a point guard in the traditional mold in that he's not a super athlete, doesn't get all the way to the rim, but like he's just a good basketball player. I don't know, he'll be there probably when the Knicks pick. Is he the guy? We'll see. And then Jaden Ivey's, what is he at the next level? Like, can you like, I don't really know the answer to that question. I don't know enough about this class or him. Sean Hardy, what's going on, Sean? To blow that size lead at home to that team, to them. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to be embarrassed. We are tired of being embarrassed. I'm tired of being embarrassed. This sucks. It just absolutely sucks. It's a fucking team. Robert Cross, what's going on, Robert? I will care about the orange and blue until my days are done. Imagine being a Nets fan. Hey, listen, there were some in the Garden tonight. Give him credit. But, yeah. Anthony Sixto, can you put up a poster of Tibs so you can put paper plate on his face? That's fair. From Manny Campos, look at the bright side. We'll probably get top 6 odds in the draft with a decent top 6. Of course, then we'll be jumped by 2 teams and end up picking 8. The draft is like, again, I don't know how the draft is going to shake out. I think I was listening this morning to a draft podcast. The game theory was Sam Vecini. I don't know how it's going to wind up. I think AJ Griffin has kind of moved himself into that top 5-6 group. Johnny Davis seems to be there. We'll see what happens with Shaedon Sharpe. That's a solid top 7. And then you got Ty Washington also. And then there's some of these other guys. But like, I think you got to, you really want top 4, 5, even top 5. Like if you ask me right now, would you sign for the number 5 pick? I would think about it long and hard. I really want top 4. I have a feeling though, Ivy and maybe one other guy is going to pass Banchero by the time all is said and done. Not a huge fan of Banchero from what I know. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Julius Randle, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. This is from Dr. Butterfingers. This is why you don't pay Mitch. All he could do is drop coverage. Pull-up shooters will kill us. Yeah, it's one of his faults. It doesn't mean you don't pay him. It means you consider his weaknesses when you pay him. So, yeah. Hush Zoo. Ironic enough, I bet you this team beats a fully healthy Nets team. I think Tibs lost the locker room. Can't even be happy for Randall because of Tibs. Again, there's a real, this is the stuff that kind of irks me again. It's like, I understand things suck right now, but let's be sure to spread the blame to all people who are responsible for the 28-point blown lead, of which Julius Randle is absolutely one of them. So, along with everybody else, Tibbs included. You don't get it. You don't get a 28-point lead with a locker room that doesn't believe in the coach anymore. Ryan Huang, hashtag INT for Ivy. Let's make it happen. We'll see. Okay, hold on. Catching up still. All right. All right. Andrew, there's a chance I've missed something else. So if I have, as always, let me know. Abdoulaye Diallo. I've been disappointed about Cam's defense. He dies too often on screens. He absolutely dies on screens for my liking. I wonder what's going on in the front office and if their plans change. The Cam thing's fascinating to me. You don't trade a first-round pick. I don't think for a player unless you've done your homework on him. So I would hope they know something about Cam that would suggest that he's got something better in him than this in terms of work ethic and like how he's going about his business on the court, because it's not pretty right now. Alex puts the Tibs quote, everything's on the table, equals still rolling out with the same broken starting lineup as all year and playing Burks 25 minutes a game now instead of 30. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. And Kevin Danishevsky, I'm okay with the kids winning games. I just want to see them play down the stretch. This needs to be the last we see of Kemba. I have major questions if not. I don't know why we're continuing to see Kemba. And then Alex, how do Atkinson and Rosas sound to you next year? You guys know where I stand. I'm still happy to believe in this coach, although it's getting tougher. And if you tell me that there are things that the front office feels like, are an issue, I don't know. We'll see. Manny Campos, when I die, I want this team to carry my casket so they could let me down one last time. That's a great line. And then Brian Benjamin, I think this is going to finish us off. When the Knicks were up big, I bet against them and won a lot of money, blood money, but still money. That's a great line. I hope you won a lot. Buy yourself a nice bottle of something, man, or a nice dinner, or I don't know, whatever. That's great, though. Okay. Again, this team is taking everything out of me. I got nothing else. I got nothing else for this team. But we got 24 games to go, or 23 games to go, 23. So we'll figure something out, right? Anyway, thank you to everybody who stuck around. Thanks to all the people who hit the old like button. We appreciate it. And, of course, thanks to everybody who contributed to the Super Chat, regular chat. And enjoy the break. We'll be back for more fun and games in 9 days. Until then, peace out.